good afternoon or good evening, whatever you prefer. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce an Italian region, which I know very well because I spent there a few years. And it's a region that accumulate a lot of good example of Italian at its best. It's a very historical region to start with, that go back to the civilization of the Greek civilization, the Roman civilization. Everybody like in the 2000 years to have visited Puglia, but going to modern time, now is one of the leading Italian regions for tourism, but also for innovation. It's, I think, the #1 region in Italy for green energy. It's #1 for very sophisticated product in construction, in technology, in aviation. So it's definitely the southern region that is most advanced. And we have the region has another great asset. They were able to get from Scotland the most talented lady that I know to promote Italy abroad. I'm very proud that Teresa Malloy is with us because I know her for a long time and she's been great in promoting Italy, but with a British approach, being very serious, very reliable, and telling the truth, which is a great asset, I think. So she will introduce, I think, a bit the region and then the individual company, which I had the pleasure of meeting before. And I'm sure that then there will be some questions because the company have new product and I think that we have a great success in UK. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, President Simonelli, for that introduction. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight, and I thank the Italian Chambers of Commerce here in the UK for organising this meeting on our behalf. Thank you all for coming along. It is, as I said, a pleasure to be here to have the opportunity of presenting some of our companies to you. We are showing here at Future Build, we have a delegation of 6 companies on stand, and we have about 10 companies in the catalogue for this event. As the President said, we are here with companies that are showing their innovation, their ability to present new products or new ways to use old products in some cases. So it's a very, very interesting delegation that we've brought along. And I don't really want to take up much of their time. I don't know if everyone here is familiar with Apulia. Usually when we mention Apulia at the beginning, when I moved to Apulia and began working there, and I used to tell people that I lived and worked in Bari. At the beginning, everyone thought it was Bali and said, "Oh, that's really exotic." And I used to say, "Not really, but you know, it's very nice. It's not exotic, but it's very, very nice." It was once one of the lesser-known regions of Italy, but there's a lot of tourism. It's becoming very, very popular. We've been doing a lot of hard work over the years to try and get the message out there that the region exists. And the region exists not only for its beautiful seaside, landscape and history, but also for its companies. It has a very dynamic economy. We have over 320,000 companies operating within the region, and we do have a very high level of innovation. When people think of the region, they think mainly, as usual, pasta, pizza, good food, good wine. We've got all of that, but that's not all. We have very, very competitive companies. The companies that we have here with us today, who I'll be introducing you to in a moment, are companies that are already operating on all of the markets worldwide. So they're not newcomers. They're not starting out trying to understand how international business works. They already have products that are on the market that have been placed in incredibly interesting and exciting architectural projects. And I hope you'll come along and meet them later on after they've done their presentations, and maybe drop by our stand either later on or tomorrow. But with no further ado, just as I said, a very brief introductory video so that you can get an idea of the region that we're talking about. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. I'd like to invite the first company up here for the presentation, and it's Hermetica. Could Guillaume Planté please come up? Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Guillaume Planté. I'm the export manager of Hermetica. We are an Apulian company located in Barletta, and we are operating in the market since 1987. What we produce are pocket sliding systems. By pocket sliding system, I mean a door that slides inside a wall. The main thing about these doors is that they help you save space. And most of these doors are used to connect bedrooms and bathrooms. Okay, fantastic. I use the computer. All right. So like I said, we have a 30 years experience in the market. We export in 25 countries, mostly in Europe, and also in Northern Africa and Israel and Turkey. Sorry about that. We produce according to the most higher standard. We use metal and also aluminium of the highest quality, and we supply our product together with sliding systems that can work for 30 years' time. When we decided to enter into the British market 4 years ago, we had to stick with the UK standards instead of trying to impose the Italian way of doing the product. So we looked to produce our product according to the imperial door sizes, and also we had the necessity to bring to the market a fire-rated pocket sliding system, because it's very important in the UK to supply safe products. So what we've been doing, it's sorry for the presentation that goes, I don't know for what reason, that fast, but okay. So about the fire-rated system, we supply half an hour pocket frame. We can supply the door and the frames that goes with it. When I speak about pocket sliding system, I mean a self-contained pocket door frame. The way that we are building the walls in Italy is using bricks. So we apply the plaster on this mesh, but in the UK, most of the walls, they are built using timber frame. So we combine the timber and we apply the plasterboard on the wall. So why shall you use a sliding door? Mostly because, that's crazy. Okay, so the hinge of the door basically lets you lose a space. It's not good for people in wheelchair, and you can harm yourself. So what we bring to the market, it's a product that is safe, design-oriented, easy for people in wheelchair, and help you save space and bring, I would say, design statements. So we have plenty of different kind of systems. We can supply frameless systems such as this one, so there is no timber around the door. We can supply flush with the wall doors, and also special hatches for you to hide electrical or food or whatever. So this range includes sliding system with a light predisposal for you to put all the wires and the electrical. And also we can supply the product in different ways based on what the builder wants to use. It can have, let's say, a prefabricated frame or a pocket door kit that is easy to put in your car to install by yourself, following the trend of the do-it-yourself market. Together with this frameless range called filo muro in Italiano, you have the classic system that requires a frame around the door to hide all the technical features of the product. And we can produce curved sliding system, telescopic sliding system also. So this is the range that we can supply. And we introduced in 1990 the curved sliding system, for which we had the patent. So we are a very known company. We are in the market for more than 30 years, and we have the experience and we know how to do bespoke sliding system. So it's going a little bit too fast. Okay, so I wanted to introduce to you a project that we've supplied last year called the Greenwich Peninsula. It's not far from where we are. And there is a cascade building in which we supplied the two last buildings. We were able to supply this project because we had the ability to adapt our product to the standard. We were in competition with other companies that were not willing to do tailor-made bespoke products, and we have that ability in the company. So that's the reason why we were able to supply this project. The second project I'd like to introduce to you, it's a project in the Netherlands, just to show you that we do not only do residential, we also do hotels and hospitality. And that's very interesting because in the room in the hotels, they tend to be smaller and smaller. So the use of a sliding door is very important for the customer to be able to feel that the space is wider, even though the rooms are quite thin. So this is the last project in Dublin when we supply 600 pocket frames. And this product is a high-end project in which we have been required to find a solution to apply some towel heater on our pocket frame, and we managed to do that by increasing the thickness of the system that we have been supplied. So that's for you to understand our ability not only to match the UK standards, but also to look together with the architects and the developer for the best solutions for them to supply the best product to their customers. So the presentation is finished. If you have questions,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Is now closed. We hope you had a successful
Okay.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
there's no... Yes, we do have a question.
Yes. With reference to fire resistance, you don't in this country normally need fire resisting doors to bathrooms, but I see you may need fire separation between, say, the hallway and the bedroom. Yes, you would. How does that work out? Can you put intermittent strips and like you do with ordinary opening doors? I mean, you can specify that as into the frame. Because I'm wondering, there may be gaps where the smoke could get through.
Yes,
with
that's
a door,
correct.
you know how ordinary
Yes.
doors work. Yeah. How do you sort of compensate for that?
So what we have been doing together with the Warrington Institute in the UK is that we provide not only our metal frame but also the timber framing that goes together with it, and there are some special millings on the frame to allow some intermittent strips to be applied so that the smokes and the heat cannot, don't go from one room to the other. So that is a matter that has been reviewed and for which we have found a solution.
And the other concern would be ongoing maintenance. If you've got a door, someone kicked it in or something, they were drunk, if you're in a hotel or whatever,
Yeah.
you can replace it. You just get a chippy in, a carpenter joiner in, and he hangs a new door. In your case, it technically looks a bit more complicated.
Yeah, that's a product that is meant to be in the wall for a very long time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we have some special feature allowing the customer to access to the mechanism at any moment. And that's why we also have an extractable rail that allows you to clean it over the time, because it's a product that will be there for 30, 40 years.
I see sliding doors on bedroom cupboard, wardrobes, and they go wrong. But this, so maintenance wouldn't be a major problem. You wouldn't have to call out one of your
Correct.
guys to do
Yes.
it. That's comforting to know.
Thank you for your
Okay,
questions.
thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Guillaume. So I think we can move on to Fabio Doria from Euroimpianti.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I just this video, yes.
Okay, you need to
start. Just leave you to see the video after I explain what our company produce. Our company produce machine and equipment for CLC, concrete light blocks, and cement and concrete system for blocks and small precast elements. The lightweight blocks is made with simple materials. We need just cement, sand, and additives and foam and water, logically. The specific weight for cubic meter can be from 500 to 700 kilograms per cubic meters. And this kind of blocks have a high thermal isolation, soundproof, very low water absorption, and naturally is light. Compared the normal blocks is light, and the standard is medium range between 500 to 700 kilo per cubic meters. Also, we study in partnership with other company, Isoltech, the patent system to use in the cycle of production the fly ash coming from electric power plants, and we can reuse this waste in the cycle of production, and we can reduce the dosing of cement in the blocks. Our company also, we produce automatic system for normal concrete blocks, interlocks and curbstone as well, and ready mix plant and any kind of automation for concrete system. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fabio. That was a lovely video and a really incredible product. I'd like to invite Giovanni De Giorgi from Fatto Stone.
Do you have any to go further down? Do I have to click anything? Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm speaking on behalf of Giovanni, which is a little bit more shy than me. And just a brief introduction about the company. Fatto Stone, owned by Bianco Cave. We are quarry owners of limestones from South Italy. We are located in south part of Puglia, near Melpignano. I don't know if you are familiar. Anyway, near Lecce is a small town in the south part of Puglia. Just we have generations of experience in the business of limestones. We have quarries, several quarries of limestone, both beige limestone named Lecce limestone, and we can see in the image behind me some of the quarries we own, and we have also the only white quarry of white limestone, pure white limestone from Ostuni, a beautiful city in Puglia. As you can see from the picture behind me, you can see the quarries are under the level of the ground, and the characteristic is the consistency of the color, which is totally beige for the Pietra Leccese and white for the white Ostuni limestone. We can have a different use of the stone for flooring, but ideally for decorative elements or wall cladding. We have also some part of the quarries of the beige limestone is a grayish stone limestone, which we also sell, and we extract and we use for different projects. You can see the use can be a renovation of old buildings, and or can be also decorative elements on wall cladding. You can see some pictures where we work on, especially in the Middle East, in Gulf areas. We work on the Mediterranean context, where it's the ideal use of light color limestones. We have here some projects in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait, Qatar. These are the reference market for us. And some projects where we use for vertical solutions mainly, and villa projects and decorative elements. I just see a few pictures of the use of the limestone also in projects around the world. This is a project in Canada where we use the white limestone, and a project in Germany, and in Bellagio in Las Vegas where we use this stone for the fountain, and Chicago, New York also, some projects we did a few years ago. And Americans as well love to use the limestone and decorative elements, and just this is a modern use of the beige limestone Pietra Leccese. Behind me a project of, I think in Los Angeles, Calabasas, where we use a combination of the white limestone and the beige limestone for the decorative elements. And a beautiful project, at least a big project, we made in Tirana, is a big hotel in full, not just cladding, full construction is in stone. You can see the huge decorative elements around with angels and more. Everything is made by CNC machine and finished by hand. This is an application where we use also Carparo limestone. Is one of the stones that we use most. It's a sandstone, differently from the previous stones, which are limestones. Here, project of a villa in Russia during construction, and here in I think it's in Lago Maggiore, is decorative elements in beige limestone pietra leccese, owned by Russians anyway. And we have also some interior decorations and simple cladding but very clean design. And we have some applications for the interior decoration. I will just use a little bit more slides. And yes, for shops or for hotels, interior elements. And also we use with water jet and CNC machine, we use as a decorative products, can be mirror, can be any, in this case, any elements for interior decoration. Customizable solutions. You can see here a wall with white and beige decorated elements mixed with some metallic elements in red and dark color. These are also walls in 3D, using different production skills and characteristics. And just a few more examples. Okay, that's it for now. If you have any questions, you feel free. Yes.
Hello. Yes. Yes, it does look beautiful. I have to say, I don't want to disappoint you. We do have limestone we manufacture over here.
Yes,
How does when you probably have studied the market because it's in your interest, how does Italian limestone compare with the British product? It looks a lot whiter and a lot more fine-grained. You're probably going to sell it to me. Tell me what the advantages are with Italian limestone as opposed to stuff we get over here.
Yes, the British limestone, I think, is Portland and Bath limestones. You have very similar characteristic. The beige limestone is a little bit more consistent in terms of color, and the white limestone is pure white. It's different than what you have in the market here. We use it in projects to replace the, especially Portland limestone, not only in UK, but our focus is globally. So we come here not just to display for the local market, but international wise. So in this case, we've been using it in Kuwait instead of Portland limestone in some projects around the world. And also we collaborate with British architects, and I'm not sure about the characteristic of the Portland limestone, but for our limestone I can say it's a very fine grain. There are no holes, no spots, no
shells,
cracks, and can be used in different sizes also. This can be a slightly a small difference, but probably also the quantity we have available for exporting is a little bit more than what you have for your most used for internal market, probably.
They look beautiful. You're not going to show dodge. I'm a surveyor and I look at buildings that are years old and that things tend to stain. Is it easy to clean? Are there techniques without having to sort of sandblast it? Can you keep that beautiful, pristine white? Because I have to say,
yes,
that looks
it's
lovely.
easy to get dirty and easy to clean at the same time. In the last few years, there are in the market many chemical products or let's say product to protect from the environment, from the pollution, from the humidity. So it's it's easy to get dirty because it's a very light color, and is ideal in dry, sunny climates rather than. Yeah, we are here, but again correct. But we are here not just for the local market. We are here to sell also in countries, and with the use of the let's say the sealers and to protect from.
You can seal it.
Yes, we seal it, and in order there are no characteristic of the sealer not to change the structure of the. Even though I think the beauty of the limestone being a natural product is also gets old like everything
You've
else.
got my
in the
vote
world.
on the beauty. It's just the long-term maintenance.
Yes,
that's my
and we
interest.
have experience. There are no pictures here of monuments in our area, in our cities, where the stone has been using for centuries. It's still there. It's still, even though a little bit used by the, let's say, the atmosphere and the pollution,
Yeah.
but it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. We'll take advantage of Roberto being here to present one of the other companies, which is G&G Doors.
Okay. Okay, I'm presenting this company not just because I'm a good presenter, of course, but because my colleague is not here, so I have no other choice. So the company is G&G. They do windows in aluminium wood. It's a company also in Lecce province, and I see now the slides, but I know the product because we collaborate each other as a companies for the external, let's say, decoration of villas and projects around the world. The main products are, the main characteristic of this company is having its own system for aluminium wood composition of the product. So internally wood, externally aluminium. It gives the beauty and the warm feeling of the wood internally, and technically externally the characteristic of the aluminium, which gives a long last life to the product and a high technical characteristic. And the same product can be cladded internal and external also in aluminium, or can be mainly structurally made in wood and cladded externally in aluminium, depending on the use of the product and the characteristics. As well, they have a very high product as a lift and slide solution for big glass walls. As you can see in this picture, they are being used at many sliding windows for modern buildings. I just scroll down the picture, and again you can see the beauty of the wood internal can also be match the color of the wood internally with the furniture of any of the buildings, and externally can be in a different color, matching the external maybe color of the cladding. And they can use very wide sliding solutions and very, let's say, minimal frame. And as well, beside the production of aluminium wood windows, there are the shutters, which it's very requested in, let's say, in the Mediterranean context, in Mediterranean market. Just some more picture and of the product we use for as a shutter to protect from the sun. Obviously not in this country probably, but in other markets. And that's it. Again, if any questions, I can try to help. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Roberto, for your patience and presenting the other company who couldn't be along here today. Moving along, I'd like to invite Maria Geber up, please, to present Isotech, which is a company operating a completely different sector. Thank you.
Hello everybody, Maria Gebre. I'm here in behalf of Annalisa Gentile, who is the owner of the company, and unfortunately she can be here, so she apologizes through me. So I'm going to talk about Isotech very briefly, and it's basically turnover in 2019, more than 18 million of euro. 14 employees in Italy, and 2 establishments, in Apulia and Albania. The planar continues expanding, obviously, and there is a huge availability of pre-painted steel and polyurethane. Sorry if I say that wrong. Polyurethane. Isotech provided sandwich panels to many countries since 10 years, and you can find regularly the product exposed in Hong Kong, for instance, where you can find basically the best European recognized high quality of product. Isotech is a passionate family business working hard in Bari, south of Italy, Acquaviva precisely. We strongly desire to invite you to Acquaviva and see our site, to spend a wonderful time in there, and there will be the best occasion to see our sites and how we work as well. And that's all pretty much. Thank you very much for your request.
Okay, thank you, Maria. And last but not least, Fabio Miceli from PMAR.
Posso controllarlo? May I control it? Okay. This is Fabio. I represent this company that has also a very long history for the working of this stone. It represents the fifth generation, and the main stone is the beige limestone. This is the company and the quarry, and as you can see, the main characteristic of this stone is the color. It's very uniform in color, and also the technical characteristic, the density is quite uniform, and it allows to make a lot of different works. We own also the quarry, and depending of the project, we can quarry different size of blocks. And to work this stone, we use the last technology, Italian technology, like CNC machine, robots, and of course, any working generally is finished by hand. So we are not talking about an industrial production, but every piece is unique. As unique is the history of this stone, the Baroque is this stone is famous because Baroque from the 16th century, and here you can see that the density allowed to make very particular details, like this decoration that is from it's a main door of a Byzantine church, but one of our clients liked this pattern, and we used for a new project in Ukraine. All fixed mechanically. So one of the added value of the company is to give also assistance from the concept to the very end of the project, also to find the best way to fix the stone on the building. And then when there is a project, we provide also mock-up. This is in white limestone, and you can see the particular decoration that the stone can, like also for the same decoration can be done for architectural element, for landscape, or also for modern works, like this breakfast room sculpture. Sometimes client they have let's say inspiration, and another client from Russia that was a wine producer, they wanted the grape on the walls. So the stone can be used both for interior or exterior, and here there are a sequence of different finishing that you can have for wall decoration. One of our last important project is with Stephen Hall Architects from New York, that we started with the Design Week in Milan, where he designed some special sculptures, and after this partnership he specified us for a project in Princeton, for the Princeton University, where there are quite big panels, are 3 by 5 feet panel, 3 inches, also carved walls, and the same cavity that were on the sculpture were done also on the main building. The idea of this project was to give a massive concept, so we provide L-shaped corners and also for the interior the cavity were used for decoration. Another project is with Philip Stark for a museum in Bilbao. The challenge was to clad existing pilasters, and the only stone used it was from Pimar, again because you can find on the market a lot of companies that provide tiles or simple cladding, but if there is a particular project you need also a technical staff to help the client, the architect, to make real their ideas. And this one is the sequence of the columns made for this project. Another important project is with a coral stone for Renzo Piano project. It's called the Good Vulcano because on the horizon there is the Vesuvio that is maybe the bed, and this is a shopping center where we supply the coral stone both for the interior and exterior cladding. And you can see also a sequence of different projects made around the world. This one is in the States, it's one of our first projects in the States. We are specialized in villas, especially in villas where we also suggest the best way to fix the stone on the building. This project is also in Washington, and in other country of the States. So it's a very versatile stone that you can use for classical or very contemporary projects. And we also supply other materials in different colors. We can source also marble if necessary. The stone can be used also for swimming pool, for outside. In this particular project, we cladded also the interior of the pool. Of course, you have to use different finishing to avoid to slip on the border. And this is a project in Albania, very classical. Or very modern, like in Dubai, in Palm Jumeirah. This project instead there is a mix of two colors, that is the white and the beige, and the particular are all the panels that you can see on the building. This villa instead is in London. We have done a couple of villas where we supplied also some material for the interior of the house, like all the pool area and the wellness and bath rooms. of course, you use different material depending of the use, because every stone has a limit, and you have, depending of the final use, you have to suggest the best one. And this one is another project also made in England, very classical for the same client. And we are specialized also in restoration of old works. The particular of this project is that they generally ask very uniformity in color. Instead, they wanted different color with a particular scratch finish that we were able to remake. And the stone can be used also in front of the sea or in humid place like here in England. Of course, you have to use particular sealer like any other stone. This project is in Ukraine, and another characteristic of the stone is that it's frost resistant. So for each market we have particular tests that we can supply, and it resists until 300 cycles for the ASTM test. Also, we have done several projects in Russia. And can be used also for hospitality, like hotels or shopping center. This is an Hilton. The particular of this project is it's a rain screen system with open joints. This is a project made in Jeddah, in Saudi, where they chosen different colors: white, beige, gray, and we also have a partnership with the University of Architecture. So it's called stereotomic. That is a new way to build using antique technique. So especially in Italy, for a show in Verona, every year we display particular works that generally is a module that you can repeat and create walls or surface. The last partnership last year was with Zadid Architects from London, and this is a new concept of a porch, and we are going to finish this beautiful work during this year for a new project. If you have questions or no, good. Please.
You've showed fantastic, first of all, what we saw, but I'm wondering how many quarries do you use, because you show stone of very different qualities. That also answer some previous question. It's true that the climate here is different, but for a long historical period, the architecture and especially stone technique from Italy have been either imported or used here a lot. You have seen one of the main centers, which is Puglia, the other Verona, which was quoted, and obviously Carrara, which is very famous for the white stone. Now, the difference between Italy and UK is basically that Italy is full of mountains and stone and quarries and everything. UK is a flat country, or not very, yes, okay, not very, very mountain. So I think that starting from the pillars of earth that I'm sure you have read from Camp Follett, all the Italian technique and tradition has been very appreciated in this country.
And the Roman Empire, which
Yes,
you still see.
yes.
They make very good concrete. It's still
Yes,
there. Right?
still there. Look, I've visited the wall that go from Newcastle to, and it's still there. And I'm saying is that the cooperation between Italy and UK in construction and technique has been established for a very, very long time because they are complementary, which is a basic thing. And then another thing that was stressed, which I think is very important, is that London is also a marketplace for the world. So, you know, these people come here to show their product not only for the UK market, but all the Commonwealth, the global market. So the question is, how many quarry do you use?
There are there are different quarries of different stones, and generally in this moment we try to give the best from this quarry and from each blocks without selling the raw material to other company that works like Chinese. There was a moment that they asked and they bought a lot of stone and marbles from Italy. What happened that they bought the stone, the marble, the machinery, and now they are very aggressive, competitive, and we sold the know-how maybe also to them. So what we don't do is to sell the raw material in this way to keep to give more life to the quarry, and for the moment we have enough. The difference with Portland or Buff stone, I believe that there is not a big difference because it's a limestone, all of them are limestone, and you have to use sealer for all of them. Let's say that we sell like also in other places because our target are very high-end residential. So what happens is this, that in this case the owner, they don't want to have something that all the neighbor or all, they want something unique. They want to show off that they have something that is different and maybe come from Italy. They say the Italians do it better, so it's a joke. But this is the main reason. They want something different and also with high quality. For the rest, you need to use similar products that you use also for Portland or Buffstone. Okay. If you have any other question, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Fabio. That was the last of our companies. So as you can see, we have different types of companies with us. 2 companies producing doors and window systems. We're using very high advanced technology with fantastic characteristics. 2 companies using a very old material, which is stone, but again, applying technology, know-how and skills to making those stones come to life in the fantastic projects that you saw. We have a company producing roof panels and a company turning, again, a very old material or fabricated material, which is cement, into something much more modern and very, very interesting, and also providing the machinery to do that.